Hello. They call me Mr. Chocolate.
I want you to hold this for me for just a little bit. Follow him where he's moving. Just for right now, like for about a minute.
I was asked to come down here to give you a presentation. I was asked to come down here to share with you some of my life, some of the things that I've been through. I was trying to think about what I could say that might make a difference. What I could say that might help you understand how important it is for you to start to prepare for your life. And I know some of you are young. You're in the 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade. And maybe in your mind, you're not thinking about what's going to be happening to you after. Maybe in your mind, the only thing that's important is, what's the next app you could buy off of the Apple Store, or, who's YouTubing who, or, what you're going to be wearing when you come to school, whatever. And I know that sometimes it can become difficult, but I got to tell you, now is the time to prepare for life. Now is the time to ready yourself, because as soon as you are getting ready to walk across that stage to get that diploma, man, you don't want to be thinking to yourself, oh, now what am I going to do? Now I say this to you because when I was your age, man, I never thought like that. When I was your age, I never thought about, what I could be, who I could be, where I could go. Coming up for me, man, I was being told that everything around me, that the best thing that could happen to me is that I could get killed or I could get locked up. And the thing about that is that it don't matter it's right, it don't matter it's wrong. If you get told something like that every single day over and over again, you start to believe it. And because I was being told that, I was slowly but surely getting caught up. And all I want to do today is I want to share with you some of the things that I had to go through so that you can start to get an understanding of how important it is for you to prepare for life. For you to come through this educational process, this high school, man, and you can do the best that you can possibly be, man. Because you have a choice to make. And right now, it's yours to make it. You don't want to be in a situation where people are making choices for you. You see, I ain't had a good life coming up. I ain't got no parents. My mama, she died when I was 3 months old, and my papa, well, I never met him because he walked out my life before I was born. So I am what you call a product of the system. My parents, the juvenile justice system, is a welfare system. And I hated it. I hated everything about it. I hated how like the people from the welfare, they'd be coming into my life. They would move me from group home to foster home to group home. And they would tell me stuff like, this is going to be good for you. They never asked me what I wanted.
Samuel Marin to the attendance office. Samuel Marin to the attendance office.
Hey Samuel, they want you. Now I forgot what I was talking about. Growing up poor, huh? And I gotta tell you, for the most part, I was just going through life. I wasn't thinking about it. But sometimes, sometimes some of the other kids, the kids who got the money, they would make fun of me, or they would put me down, or they would make me feel like I ain't nobody, like I ain't nothing, because I can't sport some of the things they before. I can't do something, like they're better than me. And when you get all kinds of stuff like that coming at you, it goes into your heart, and it went into mine, and all I wanted to do was get it out of me. So like I did things, thinking that that's how I was supposed to be. I joined the gang, I did the drugs, I did all kinds of violence, thinking I was gonna be somebody. And I lost. I lost some of my friends. I lost some of my family. I lost some of my life. And all I want to do today is I want to share with you so you can learn from. Thank you. That's a lot of noise for an air conditioner. So you can learn from some of the things. Now I want to begin my presentation with the word. Let me find out where you at first. Where are the freshmen at? Okay. Where are the sophomores? And the juniors? Oh. Okay. And the seniors? Too bad for them, huh? I want you to think about something. And I want you to really put your arms around it. I was just told just a little while ago about how many freshmen start school. And then I was told that through time, about 100 or maybe 150 of the students, they don't make it. That's a lot of students. That's a lot of people. I don't know where they're going. Maybe they're making it to the continuation school. Maybe they're not. And you need to start to put your arm around that because you might be one of those persons where someone comes up to you and says, man, you're not doing good in school. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Maybe you'd rather be out there on the streets, working in the fields, picking grapes or almonds or whatever, right? Now I say this to you because you know what, man? Maybe graduating from high school is not like the most exciting thing in your life, but it's definitely a way out. It's a way out. And I say that because I had to go through that same kind of choice. And I can only hope that in the short time that I share my message, you might be able to pick up something from what I got to say. Now I want to begin with a quote. It's a simple quote that I like to use. It goes like this. A foolish person is one who learns from his or her mistakes. A wise person is one who learns from the mistakes of others. What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, it's kind of like when you were a little kid and your mama told you, don't touch the stove or you're going to get burnt. Some of you heard that one before, huh? Don't touch the stove, you're going to get burnt. Touched it anyhow. And then what happened? You got burnt. Stupid. I mean, you were told not to do it. You were told what will happen if you did, but not. You have to go check it out for yourself. You have to go find out for yourself. So you went over there, you touched the stove, you go screaming, crying like a little baby to your mama. She puts peanut butter or toothpaste on your hand to get rid of that burning feeling. And then you get punished. You get sent to your room. You can't talk on the phone for a week. You can't have any of your friends come over and play with your Nintendo. You can't wear your cowboy boots on Saturday night. Or your huaraches or whatever you guys wear out here. Bottom line is, you learn the foolish way. You learn by having to go through the mistake yourself. And no matter what anybody was going to say to you, no matter how many people's going to tell you, you have to go do what you wanted to do. So you went over there, you touched the stove, you got burnt, you learned like a fool. Well, me, I might be your little brother kicking back, watching you get burnt. Watching you go screaming, crying like a little baby. Watching you get in trouble. You know what? I'm going to be laughing at you. I'm not going to touch the stove. And after seeing what happened to you, you see, I'm going to learn from your mistakes. I'm going to learn from your experience. I'm going to learn, people, the wise way. Now, the reason why I like to start my presentation with this quote is because here you are, you're growing up, you're going through all kinds of changes, and sometimes it don't matter what anybody says. Some of you're going to think you know what you're going to go out there, you're going to do what you want to do, and you're going to learn the foolish way. Other times, you might see somebody going through something, you might say, man, I ain't going to do that, and you learn the wise way. You see, you got it in you to be both a fool or to be wise. It just depends on the kind of choice you want to be making and the kind of consequences you want to play out in your life. And all I want to do today is share with you some of my consequences, and hopefully you can learn from my mistakes, because like I told you from the gate, man, I didn't think I had a future. I didn't think I was going to graduate from high school. I didn't think I had any hope. And so slowly but surely, I was getting caught up. And one of the first things that I got caught up into was drugs. Now, raise your hand if you know about drugs. Man, all you guys do drugs? There's always some knucklehead out there. I do. How do you tell everybody your business, man? Stupid. You see, for me, I got introduced to drugs at a very young age. My uncle, he got out the penitentiary when I was in the 7th grade, and he became the man of my life. He was going to teach me how I was supposed to be. And one of the first things that he did when he came into my life is that he came up to me, he put una botella de vodka in my hand, and he said, drink this. Now, I got to be straight up, okay? When I was in the 7th grade, I was going through that change. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. Little peach boys, right? Little bustle. All I wanted was to be grown up. So when Mom came up to me and he put that bottle in my hand and he told me to drink it, you know the first thing that kicked off into my head? Cool. I get to party, I get to be grown up. I'm down. But how many of you have ever tasted vodka straight before? Raise your hand. Now I know some of you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I remember that time, it was so fun, we had so much fun. That stuff tastes gross. It's strong. It was burning me up inside. I didn't like how it was tasting. I wanted to stop. But my uncle, he wouldn't let me. And I was afraid of my uncle, man. He just got out the penitentiary. I was afraid of what he might do. I mean, he used to like to put me and my cousins up against the wall, and he would come up to us and he would pound us as hard as he could on our chest. And if we started crying, booyah, he would do it again. And he kept doing it over and over again, so like the pain, it got so bad we couldn't cry anymore. And he was like trying to teach us about how we're supposed to be the man. And so when he came up to me and he told me to drink that bottle, man, I was going to drink it because I didn't want him to put me up against the wall. I was afraid. And you know, the scary thing is that even though that was a momentary pain, I didn't understand what was going to happen to me in the long run. I didn't understand that I was being introduced to this thing called drugs, and how, because I lived so close to it, because I lived in a house of heroin addicts, because the drugs were so close to me, that I stood a greater likelihood of getting caught up. And so I took that bottle, and I started to drink it. Next thing you know, I got sick. Threw up all over the place, man. Park City, if you know what I mean. I was just a kid, man. I couldn't take it. I threw it back out. And I thought that my uncle, he would see how sick I was and he would let me stop, but he didn't care. He made me finish. And I did because I was afraid of him. Passed out. Next day, the lies of my life started. Because I was being told that I was supposed to be able to do drugs. I was being told that I was supposed to be able to handle it because I was going to be out there in the streets. And if I couldn't, somebody might try to take me out. Slowly but surely, man, I was getting caught up. And slowly but surely, I was losing any hope to a future. Now, why do I say this to you? Why am I talking to you about this? Well, because here you are in high school now, and you're developing into young adults. And you're going to be exposed to the idea that you're supposed to party down, get lo fuerte, do it up. Maybe you don't understand the consequences. Maybe you was blinded, thinking that you was invincible, that it ain't going to happen to you. Well, I'm here to tell you, man, that it ain't worth it. You already have enough things working against you. You throw the drugs into the mix, and that's going to be taken over. Because that's what happened to me. Slowly but surely, the drugs started to take over, and slowly but surely, I started to do things that I said I would never do. Rob from my family, take from my friends, out there on the streets hustling, trying to figure out how I'm going to get that next hit, that next fix, that next drink, that next blast. And now here I am trying to warn you, and I know some of you going to be looking at me and say, oh man, I'm not like him. I'm different. So I want to be straight up. So that way when you walk out them doors and you go back to your class, when the bell rings at the end of the day and you go back home to your barrios or to your community, when you walk into your house and you kick back at the table or on the couch, you can't say nobody ain't ever told you. You can't be the victim. I don't care who you are, I don't care where you come from. I don't care if you're white, if you're black, if you're Mexican, Asian, Chicano. I don't care if you're rich, if you're poor, if you are a boy or a girl. You're not bad enough for the drugs. So my advice to you straight up, make the healthy choice. Don't do it. Not because you can, but because it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Now I talk about the drugs because it influenced my direction in life. The motivation that I had inside. But there were other issues that I also had to walk through. What else? Well, let's talk about sex. Don't get excited, it's just a word, man. Gee, wow. Homeboy right here, like, Now I want to talk to you a little bit about the sex because I understand that some of you little boys are going to grow up to become little men. And some of you little girls are going to grow up to become little women. Now what happens when you get little men and little women together? What happens? Little babies? Man, girl, hold on to your chonchons and slow down, yeah? And I understand. Because here you are, you're growing up, you're going through that thing called puberty, and all of a sudden, it becomes important for you to impress the person that you want to impress. That's natural, man. Everybody goes through it. So all of a sudden, some of you young guys, you get all happy because you like grow a hair in the middle of your chest, right? You're at home, you go to the bathroom, you go to the top counter, you put on this big old botella de gel or gunk or goop or whatever you want to call it, right? You grab 3 fingers of it, you put it in your hair, you fix your hair, you make it go back. Maybe you'll make it go forward, or maybe you'll spike it out, or you make jerry curls or whatever. Why? Because you want to impress the person that you want to impress. Some of you young ladies, you start to develop, you get all happy, so you like run into your mama's closet, you pull out this big old caja de makeup, and you start to fix your face up. You start to do your lips, you start to fix your eyeballs. You guys didn't know? They got eyeballs now, man. I'm not lying. $29.95. Gray, yellow, green, blue, all kinds of colors. They put them on. Why? Because they want to impress the person that they want to impress. That's natural, okay? Everybody goes through it. So all of a sudden, you got the dude walking up into your school, right? Thinking he looks good. Thinking he looks sloppy. A attracting all kinds of flies because he got kind of gunk in his head, right? Then you got this girl coming in the other direction, looking like a clown because she ain't never put on makeup before in her life, man. Straight up related to Ronald McDonald, if you know what I'm talking about. Bumping into all the poles because she can't see through her fake eyeballs. And then they run into each other and it's like, blam, boom, now. What's happening? Julie, mama, ¿cómo se llama? And all of a sudden, what you ain't never thought you was going to have to deal with is in front of you. Now you got to make the choice. Now I got to be straight up, okay? I ain't the one. I ain't going to tell you to do it, I ain't going to tell you not to, man. That's not my place. All I can do is tell you how it was for me. And coming up, man, I got to tell you straight up. When I was a kid, I didn't know nothing about the sex. I mean, that's how we all start out, right? But you want to know what's scary? I remember when I was going through my changes, I would like go up to the people who's supposed to be responsible, and I'd be like, teacher, 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 something's happening. You know what they would do? We can't talk about this. You're too young. And I remember thinking, what? I'm too young. And I got these feelings. I don't know where they're coming from. My body was going through all kinds of changes. I don't understand what's happening. I'm waking up every morning like, oh, never mind. You guys know what I'm talking about, huh? It's a natural human function, man. You can't control it. Bottom line is, I needed some answers. And for you adults that are here, research has shown that when you talk to me, I stand a greater likelihood of making the right choice. So talk to me. Talk to me. But you know, because I couldn't get a straight up answer, I turned to my homeboys. You know what my homeboys are telling me? For me to be a man, I was supposed to have all kinds of girlfriends. I was supposed to get them digits. I was supposed to be Mr. Mac Daddy, Mr. Player, Mr. Gigolo, Mr. Sancho. For me to be a man, I was supposed to use the young ladies. I was supposed to give mine. I was supposed to disrespect them. And I believed it. I believed it so much that sometimes I would make up stuff to my homeboys just to prove how I was down. Oh yeah, yesterday I was with that girl. The day before that I was with this girl. And tomorrow I'm gonna be with that girl and her sister. And I would say all kinds of ugly things. And I would disrespect the young ladies. And I didn't care how I made them feel. The only thing I cared about was moving to my homeboys. And I know some of you young guys walking around doing the same thing. Talking all kinds of stuff, whistling at the girls, looking at them as if they're some kind of eye candy, some kind of object for your pleasure. Having hickeys on your neck and showing off to everybody. Look at me, I got a hickey. Knowing that right before you opened up on the vacuum cleaner, started sucking on yourself out. So let me be straight up. So again, you go back to your classroom. When the bell at the end of the day rings, and you go home to your life or to your community. When you walk into your house and you kick it at the table or on the couch, you can't say nobody ain't never told you. You can't be the victim. First and foremost, to you young men. Having sex, it don't make you no man. Having sex don't make you a man. What makes you a man is having respect for the young ladies. Now I'm looking at you guys, I can see the guys are like, oh man, why he gotta talk like that? The girls are like, ah! jabbing the guy in the gut. Listen to him. He makes sense. But I say this to you, young men, because you should know that every time you use those malas palabras, every time you disrespect that young lady, you're disrespecting the person that you came from. My mama's dead. So you want to be a man? Have respect, straight up. And for you young ladies, it's not all on the guys. It's not like you don't get caught up listening to those knuckleheads singing to you on the radio. I got a feeling tonight's gonna be good night. And then all of a sudden, you start to think that in order for you to find love, you gotta compromise yourself. In order for you to fit in, you gotta give it up. In order for you to be Miss Popular, you gotta, buy these clothes that show off all of your stuff, walk around school looking like some kind of hoochie mama. And you think this is what's gonna get you respect? Well, let me tell you, you ain't doing nothing but disrespecting yourself. Straight up. It's hard for a young man to respect somebody if they're not respecting yourself. I need to go a little farther for the young ladies. And I mean no disrespect. But I can tell you right now, every single one of my sisters, every single one of my primas, every single one of the young females in my house dropped out of school because of teen pregnancy. Every single one. You see, you got within your body to do something that I could never do. You young ladies can get pregnant. I can't, no matter how hard I try. It ain't gonna happen to me. And because you can get pregnant, you engage in this thing called sex. Now I'm talking about sex. I'm not talking about love. If we had more love in our hearts, we wouldn't be walking around disrespecting ourselves so easily, man. They ain't the same. They ain't the same. You engage in this activity, man, you set yourself up. You have a child, and you're not ready. You're only 15, 16, 17. You have an adult body, but you're still a child inside and in your mind. So my advice to you straight up is don't do it. Not because you can, not because you can't, but because it ain't worth it. You deserve better. Number one group dropping out in America. Latinas. That's you, man. So this ain't no joke. This ain't nothing to be playing around with. This ain't nothing that you should be taking lightly. Because it's coming at you. But there is an alternative. There's a simple solution. It all boils down to a choice. Ladies, gentlemen, it's okay to be virgins. It's okay. Huh? I am. Okay, I lied. Now, I talked about the drugs and I talked about the sex and I talked about those things because they had a deep impact in my heart and my motivation as to whether or not I was going to graduate from school, as to whether or not I was going to even make it through life. But there's one more thing I want to talk about before I end my presentation. And before I get into this last topic, I want to ask a real quick question. How many of you have ever been into a fight before? Raise your hand. That means beating up on your brothers and sisters. También raise your hand. Right? I gotta go to the bathroom first. Those are my people. Well, let me ask another question. If a fight breaks out to your school, do you guys run to the to fight or do you run away from him? Do it, huh? Ooh, Joey and Johnson, they're gonna box. Maybe we're gonna bust him in the nose. It'll be bloody. It'll be exciting. Let's go check it out. Susie and Jane, they're gonna fight. Susie's wearing a halter top. Maybe they'll tear it off. We'll get a quick peek. Let's go watch. You gotta run over. Now, the last question I want to ask is, what happens if a fight breaks out in your school and you're not there? What do? You asked about it, right? Who won? Who lost? Oh man, I missed it. What am I gonna do? I know. I'll say this about this somebody. Who's gonna say that about that somebody? So that somebody finds out that this somebody's talking about him. This somebody goes over there, jams up that somebody. They start to go down. I'll be right there to watch it. I'll have front row seats. And then you start to spread this he say, she say, gossip, chisme stuff. Now here's the sick part right here. So you can see one of your friends get into a fight. So you can see one of your friends get suspended from school. So you can see one of your friends get expelled from the district or get sent to juvenile hall. So you can see one of your friends get beat down, get stabbed, get shot. So you can buy one of those t-shirts that say in loving memory of. So you can prove how proud you are. You know, I grew up with 9 homeboys, people. And out of the 9 homeboys that I grew up with, I've already had to bury 3 of them. I buried one when he was 15 years old. And I remember going to his funeral thinking I was going to go represent. And I remember walking through the casket, going to show all my homeboys in Homebrew how proud I was. Homeboy got killed for the lot of you. And I remember walking up to the casket and everybody watching me. And as soon as I got to the front, it hit me. Because sitting right next to the casket was his mama. And she looked at me with the saddest eyes that I have ever seen. She knew what I was trying to do and she wasn't going to let me do it. She looked at my heart and it pierced me. And to this day, I'll never forget. I'll never forget those eyes. You know, there was nothing good I could say to her. I couldn't go over there and say, I'm proud that your son's dead. There was nothing good I could say about the fact that my homeboy got killed. He was only 15. And there ain't nothing good about being dead at 15. Buried another homeboy because he thought he could sell drugs, wanted to make the quick money. Somebody wanted his money. He went into his house and shot him 4 times in the chest. Blah, 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 my homeboy's dead. I get a phone call a couple of days later. He had a daughter. She's like 4 or 5 years old. She's calling me up to invite me to her daddy's funeral. Homeboy never made no money. All of us, all 9 of me and my homeboys got strung out on the drugs. That's 100%, man. 100% of us got caught up, and I had some homeboys who were down. So as I come to you and I share this message, yeah, you laughing, joking around, talking, maybe to each other, maybe about what I'm talking about, maybe not. One thing's for sure, you're going to have to make some of the same choices in your life. You're going to have to decide the direction you're going to be going. Ain't nobody going to do it for you. No one's going to walk your footprints. It's on you. So that means you're going to have to overcome some of the badness that comes at you that tells you there ain't nothing better. There ain't nothing more. There ain't nothing you can do to achieve your future. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some of you are looking forward to working out there in the fields. Maybe some of you have it in your heart that you don't want to leave Bosco. It's too cool here. I like it. And you know what? I mean no disrespect to the community. But life is a lot bigger than that. And now is the time to prepare. Now is the time to arm yourself. Now is the time to ready yourself so you can make that happen. Because that means you're going to have to start to change. And I know that's not easy. With all that's coming at you through the internet, the iPhones, or whatever, man, it's not easy. But it's definitely possible. And if that's what it takes for you to understand my message, I'm not afraid to show you. I'm not afraid to take off my sunglasses and to look at you with my eyes. And no, I don't wear this because I was up drinking and drugging. Woke up with the crude. I don't want you to see my bloodshot eyes. And I'm clean and sober coming up on 23 years. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't need drugs to have a good time. I have a good time with my good looks alone. That was not a joke. I'm good looking. I don't care what you think. And I know for myself, I needed a lot of help. I needed somebody to be out there for me, to give me encouragement, to tell me over and over and over again that it's possible, that I can make it. Because when you tell somebody over and over and over again, slowly but surely they start to believe it. And that's what was happening to me. And so instead of having those goals to get killed or get locked up, all of a sudden, the idea of graduating from high school came to me. And slowly but surely, with the support of individuals, just like some of the individuals you have here, I started to believe it. I managed to graduate from high school, even when I wasn't supposed to. And you know the crazy thing about that? When you come from a school, just like something like here, I grew up in a little town called Fresno, California, down the block. And I went to a school called Roosevelt High School. And when you graduate from a place like that, you have the kind of things coming at you that you grow up just like me. People want to see you prosper. They want to see what else you could do. And I remember one day as I was kicking it on campus, the dude came up to me and he said, "Hey, Mr. Chocolate, what do you think about going to college?" Now, I gotta be honest, that's the first time I ever heard it. I was a senior in high school and someone's coming to ask me about going to college. You know what I thought? Homeboy must be smoking some good stuff, man. Because he's gotta be no good or something if he thinks someone like me can go to college. You see, I didn't think I was smart enough. I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think I was rich enough. I didn't think I was the right type, and I had all kinds of excuses. But you know, I gotta tell you, I saw something this morning that kind of reaffirms my beliefs. I walked into one of your activities office, and there's a sign there that says, "Excuses stop here." I'm like, wow. That's deep. Because the truth of it is, that's all I had. And when the homeboy looked at me and said, "Man, the smartest thing you did was show up. Because you showed up, and you're a straight A student just like all of the others." So I went to college, even when I wasn't supposed to. Now don't get me wrong, I was no straight A student. I graduated with a 2.1 GPA. I barely made it, pero ¿sabes qué? I finished. Sometimes, that's the best you have, man. Finish. Finish. Because if you finish high school, the doors of opportunity will open up. That's what happened to me. And slowly but surely, I started to feel like I was worth something. Like I was worth millions. And I'm not afraid to show you my millions. That's what I say to you about the Cover your eye. Nobody's covering their eyes. Psych. Don't worry. I'm not butt naked. That's what I tell myself every morning when I wake up and look in the mirror. high level of self-esteem. What could I say? How you like me now? I don't put this shirt and tie on because I'm trying to give up who I am. Yo soy Mr. Chocolate. I come from the barrio. I work in the same field as some of your parents, and maybe you have been working. I grew up in the same kind of environment, the same kind of mentality, the same kind of issues that I did. I went through some of the same stuff you might be going through now, if not soon. But because somebody believed, man, it changed my direction. I managed to go to college and do things I never thought possible. You see, my name is Richard Santana. This homeboy who was caught up into the drugs, into the violence, into the madness, this homeboy with the help of individuals, just like some of the individuals who are here today, graduated with his master's degree from Harvard University. I didn't say that to you so you can clap for me and make me feel all good. Even though now I said it to you. Because if someone's gonna come at me when I was your age and say, hey Chocolate, Richard Santana, what do you think about going to college? What do you think about graduating from Harvard? I would not have ever seen it. I would not have ever come to believe that I could do something like graduate from one of the most respected universities in the world. Never thought that someone like me could do something like that. But because someone started to feed me the idea over and over again that I could make it and that I could be somebody, slowly but surely I started to believe it. And now here I am today in your wonderful school. Today, sharing with you about the potentials and the possibilities that you have. Because when I come here, what I see are future doctors and lawyers and engineers and scientists and teachers and aviators. What I see is the future. But you have to make the choice. You're the one that has to decide. You're the one that has to walk through it. You. So I beg you, please, learn from my mistakes. Stay away from the drugs, the violence, the hate, the things that take from life. Learn from my experience. Stay in school. Get your education. Do your work. Show up. Participate. Learn, people. Learn. The wise way. On behalf of Homeboy Goes to Harvard Productions, I want to thank you for giving me this short time to share my story. Good luck. God bless. Thank you very much.
Let's give it up again for Mr. Santana coming all the way from Oakland, California. You're not excused. You're not excused. Did the bell ring, Mr. Oakland? Okay. Everybody, one more round of applause for Mr. Richard Santana, please. Thank you so much. Oh, also, on behalf of Wasco High School, we would like to give you a little hand.